Welcome to the Sandro channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today I have to give a quick little shout out to one of my subscribers, Anthony Garcia, as always, for suggesting this topic to me on Discord. Thank you so much, my man, and without further ado, let's jump right in. So we're here on Polygon.com. I really don't like this website. I think it's a trash website. They have a lot of garbage political takes, and I'm just not a fan of their writers and the whole website as a whole. But they're one of the only places talking about this right now. Basically, they're asking the question, whatever happened to that sequel to Detective Pikachu, right? When the movie first came out, you know, it actually did pretty well at the box office. And they basically said, yeah, we're gonna make a sequel here. And it's been some time, and people are wondering, is this thing ever coming out? So yeah, they're asking the question, where did Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2 go? Hunting for updates on the obvious but missing sequel. So they asked this at the beginning of February, so it's still relatively new here. And I read through the article. We could skip down to here, where they say, according to a representative for Legendary Entertainment, the project is still in active development. So they're still working on it here, but they could not confirm who was currently working on it. So nobody knows, like, who's doing this movie. Is Ryan Reynolds even coming back for this movie? We don't know. I'm assuming yes, right? Because he did, you know, Pikachu in the first one, and he played himself, right? He did play himself also. But wait, But didn't he turn into a human at the end of the movie? Wait, I'm so confused. How could they even do a sequel? What Detective is it going to be a different Pikachu this time? Like I'm so confused, right? I'm pretty sure that like he turned into a Pokemon. Yeah, that was the plot of the movie, right? And then at the end of the movie, he becomes Ryan Reynolds, right? Yeah. He's revealed to be the father of the main kid. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So how could they even make a sequel here? I'm just very confused. Like, what the heck? Okay, yeah, maybe it's just a different Pikachu, right? Maybe it's in a different universe or something. I don't know. I'm very confused. The Pokemon Company declined to comment when Polygon asked about its involvement with the development of the film or other projects that have spun off since the release of the first Detective Pikachu. Yeah, and maybe it's the case that Ryan Reynolds can just revert back into a Pikachu whenever he wants, you know? But I don't think so. I think that would kind of ruin the ending of the first movie. So I'm just confused on how in the world they would even make this film. In a recent conversation for their animated series, Koala Man, I actually saw that. I was going to do a review of Koala Man. I'm not sure if I'm going to still do it, but Koala Man was a very middling property, I gotta say. I did not enjoy it too much. I thought it was a good 5 out of 10, just very passable, just borderline passable, I should say, of a cartoon. Compared to the creator's previous work, Smiling Friends, Koala Man was not as good as that one. Detective Pikachu writers Benji Samit and Dan Herdenez suggested they were not involved, but they would love to be. Okay, so the people who did like the first Detective Pikachu are not even involved right now, but they would love to be if it came up. So it seems this movie is still like early development. It's an ongoing conversation, and that is still not over to this day, Samit said, adding that the situation was complicated and involved a lot of big studio corporate Pokemon rights things that they were not privy to. So the Pokemon Company could just be like, yeah, maybe we don't want to actually go forward with a Detective Pikachu 2. This is very, very interesting to me. Okay. So again, the Pokemon Company, they're very protective of their titles. They're not going to just be like, yeah, just go ahead and make a Detective Pikachu 2. They want to make sure that all the right things are in place. But again, I just still don't know what would the plot for this film be? He turns into a Pikachu again? Like, I don't even know. It sounds like this movie doesn't even need a sequel, honestly. But yeah, let's keep going. When Legendary made the pre-release announcement on January 2019 that Detective Pikachu 2 was already in development, Oren Oziel, who had written 22... I like 22 Jump Street. I thought it was a pretty funny movie, especially the credits. You guys should watch the credits of 22 Jump Street. Really funny shit. And a draft of Sonic the Hedgehog was the one trying to catch the perfect Pikachu sequel idea. But representatives for Uzel tell Polygon that though he wrote an online and screenplay for the movie, he's no longer working on the film, and it's unclear who is taking over. So he wrote an entire screenplay. I guess maybe Nintendo or the Pokemon Company didn't like that, and or maybe Warner Bros. Or whoever's involved here just didn't like the screenplay. Maybe they scrapped it, and he moved on, right? He moved on to other projects. He's just no longer working on it. So it's unclear who was taken over. In 2021, Detective Pikachu star Justice Smith was not optimistic about a sequel's fate. And does Detective Pikachu really need a sequel? I don't think this movie needed a sequel. I'd rather Nintendo just move on to other stuff. The Pokemon Company. I'd rather them just try a different movie, you know? Why not give us like a new original movie that has like nothing to do with Detective Pikachu? Just give us something new. Or why not make the manga series? There's an entire manga series. Why don't they start adapting some of those manga series into full-blown live-action movies? They could do that. I'd rather see them do that than make a Detective Pikachu 2. I think Detective Pikachu ended on a really great note, and we don't really need a sequel. So here we go. I would love to participate in Detective Pikachu 2, he told Inverse while promoting his HBO Max series Generation. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think we have to just kind of bury our hopes. I don't think it's going to happen. I really hope so, though. Honestly, I'm such a huge fan. Who knows? I hope so. So he doesn't think it's going to happen. The main actor himself literally just doesn't think it's going to happen. But he's hopeful. He's a hopeful fellow. But as Samit suggests, there may be a larger corporate hurdles now in play. In June of 2021, news broke that Netflix was in development of a live-action Pokemon series. Really? I didn't even hear about that. That's really cool. But the problem is Netflix has a past of making really garbage stuff, especially when it comes to adapting anime, like the Cowboy Bebop and the Death Note. Those ended up terrible. Right now they're working on a One Piece adaptation. I have my doubts about that one too. So I don't have high hopes for a live action Pokemon series. I got to be real. But it does sound cool. I never even heard that was happening. A logical next step to streamers' relationship with the Pokemon Company, which allows previous seasons of the Pokemon anime to live on the platform. And perhaps in more seismic events, November 2022 saw Legendary Entertainment sign a worldwide film distribution partnership with Sony Pictures, ending the long run with Warner Bros. Pictures. So yeah, they're moving to Sony here. Now, will Nintendo let their competitor Sony... that's pretty interesting. I don't know. What you think they would let Sony kind of just like dictate their movies? I don't know about that. The console wars are still real, I'd be interested to see. I mean, these companies have been working together in recent times, but yeah, I don't know if Nintendo or the Pokemon Company would immediately be like, yeah, let's work with Sony, which is pretty interesting. So maybe this movie just won't be made. I don't know. But while Legendary and WB will continue to work together on a few ongoing franchises like Dune and Godzilla, the Monsterverse, it's unclear whether a Detective Pikachu 2, which WB co-financed, would move forward in the same way or be a victim of new relationships. I think this film is axed. Now that I read this... I think it's axed, boys. I think we're not getting Detective Pikachu 2. The word everyone comes back to is hope. For Samit and Hernandez, they'd settle for just watching it in the audience. Whether it's us or someone else that takes up the mantle, we hope it happens because we love it. Hernandez said, I think it's still a to be decided, but there's hope. What the future holds for Pokemon Detective Pikachu and fans dreaming of another round. I'm not really dreaming of another round. I would, honestly, they should just axe it. Of a Pokemon film is unclear, but the good news is the new Detective Pikachu game is on the horizon, announced in 2019 with no updates since. So maybe they're trying to set things up. So maybe the new Detective Pikachu game will line up with a new movie, possibly. And they actually say here there's been no updates on that Detective Pikachu game itself. So the entire Detective Pikachu franchise is a big question mark right now. But yeah, I personally, honestly, I think the ending of the first one was good enough where we don't really need a sequel to this franchise. They could just end it right here and I'd be happy with it. But I do want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Do you want to see a Detective Pikachu 2? Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see a sequel. Do you want to see them adapt the manga? There's so many different manga stories of Pokemon. Why don't they start making those into movies like I suggested earlier? I want to know if you guys think the same thing that I think. Should Nintendo and the Pokemon Company move towards adapting some of their lesser known material instead of continuing on with Detective Pikachu? I want to hear your thoughts on that too. Other than that, please like, please share, please subscribe, and why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? Thank you guys so much. Peace out, bye-bye, and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.